Hello, so for my mass communications class, we were expected to do an essay about a famous inventor in mass communications out of a list, and I chose D.W. Griffith. So in this video, I'll give you an overview about his life from when he was born to his highest point, and then his last part of his life. To start with, he was born on January 22nd, in 1875. D.W. Griffith, he grew up on a farm in Kentucky, and, well, this was the age of the Civil War span, so his father turned out to be an ex-Confederate colonel, which is really high, and therefore he had to live through this industry of the film industry starting, and he had to live through it through all the racism and the segregation and sexism and stuff like that. So that's an important role in his whole lifespan. Therefore, his father had ended up passing away when he was 10. And so, first off, D.W. Griffith, he was the father of film, and he was known for as an actor, producer, and director. And so therefore, he grew up in a farm with his mother mostly. There was no sign of him having any siblings though. And therefore, he had started as a book clerk because he loved reading. He was very literate and he loved spending time in the library. So then once he figured out, he found some books on playwrights and stuff. Therefore, he decided he wanted to become a playwright writer, and he wanted to get out of Kentucky because who wants to live in a small town their whole life? So he wanted to do bigger and better things. He had hope for the future. So, and basically, he started from rags to riches, and then he kind of ended in an unexpected way. So, at the beginning of his career, he had started in a production company where he was acting in Kentucky, and it was called, I think, Biograph. And so he started as an actor. He acted in many films because he wanted to get the whole aspect, and he wanted to up his craft and stuff. So then after being an actor, they asked him if he wanted to learn behind the scenes stuff. So he got to learn a lot. Like, he learned about production. He got so interested in production, directing. He learned how to edit, do all the lights, technician, all that jazz. And therefore, he got interested and started becoming a producer and director. He had actually created some short films to start off his career, which led him to get out of Kentucky, and he later on had ended up working for some other companies, such as the New York film companies, Edison and Biograph. That's where he also acted. He also helped produce some film there. But not only was he known as the father of film, but he was also known for creating the modern film techniques, because he used these techniques and he would put them in his film that people were just so intrigued on. He had changed others' perspectives and how he did his thing, how he created it. He wanted to use all the different aspects of filmmaking, from on camera to off camera to behind the scenes to writing, reading, directing, getting to know everyone, networking and stuff. That's how he created his view in all of his films. He wanted all the different perspectives. He wanted to see what it's like to be an audience member, what it's like to the perspective of actors and what they have to go through. And then he used the audience's perspective through directing. He would see what mistakes he would have, what he could fix, how he could change it to where nobody else could really get it. He would put secret messages in his films. So, D.W. Griffith, he was known for the one popular film that came out in 1915, and, well, popular meaning it started chaos in the United States and within the black communities. It was known as Birth of a Nation. It was full of, well, it was criticized as racism, sexism against women, and the mostly white superiority. So this film, Birth of a Nation, was adapted from the book The Klansman, and it was seen as like, in our days it would be like an Oscar awarded movie, kind of like a famous movie that everybody knew about. It was pioneered for its storytelling forms and influenced modern movie making and the ideas that the audience had after watching it. So then, after that happened, there was chaos and everybody was talking about this film. He was judged a lot, and plus he was white at the time, so his segregation and racism did not mix well. So then he created a second film called Intolerance. It was a cleaner version, but it was kind of like a parody of the first one. But it also was his second famous film. So these two were the only films that people actually got, like, he got famous from. Even though it wasn't really good fame, it was still fame. It was still making money because for all the people seeing it, talking about it, and all that, the drama and stuff. So then, near the end of his life, he actually died in a hotel in California because near the end of his lifespan, he was unemployed, even though he had all these great titles of movie techniques and just influencing the people wanting other filmmakers, upcoming new filmmakers. He couldn't find jobs or anything. So he lived in several hotels. He was unemployed several times because, I mean, the filmmaking career is very competitive still to this day. And he was struggling, so he went from basically rags to riches and then slowly to middle class. He changed between the classes from the lower class to middle class, upper class, and throughout all that. So he kind of made history through that also. And even though he's still talked in today, because he's just an influence in all filmmaking. And some of his other films include the 1919's Broken Blossoms, Way Down East in 1920, Orphans of the Storm in 1921, and America in 1924. I hope you learned some things about D.W. Griffith. I sure did. I did not know anything about him, and I was gladly to do my research on him. Have a great day.